the one place that both of us would like to investigate together at the same time. And I don't know that I can narrow that down to one. What do you think?
Uh, any place to investigate together, any place, because we both have certain skills and gifts, and they mesh and work so well together, and we get really great responses.
True.
And there's so, like, the chemistry is really good. So I could say I could go investigate with Kat any place. And to narrow it down to one, I don't know. I mean, I would love to go to Lemp Mansion, to the Winchester House, and definitely just roam New Orleans. So
Well, New Orleans is doable.
yes,
That we can do that one because I've already told you, come on. But
yes.
I think the Winchester House would. I think that I would just like to roam the English countryside. And, when we've talked with Rick McCollum, he has said that when he goes to Scotland, it's so different from here because, hey, there's a pile of bricks. Might have been a castle. Let's go check it out. And you can just wander in and do things.
I'll tell you,
And he loves
thinking about
investigating over there.
thinking about over there, I've had some people who talk to me from over there, and they're like, "Come on, I'll take you to some castles." I would just love to go to some of those places. Yeah, and eventually I'm gonna make my way over there. you know.
Well, me too. And I
hmm
finally got David to agree that it wouldn't be the worst if I absolutely, went to Ireland or Scotland.
Oh, oh yeah, either one of them,
So,
because they've got those castles there, and I would even like to go and visit the real Dracula castle.
yeah.
I think that would be just fascinating.
I don't want to go to the Suicide Woods, though. That's not on my list. So,
um, oh, and another fascinating place for me, and I don't know about you, Kat, but that's that, and we will go to there. Like, I mean, I got plans for it, and if you want to go, girl, and that is that Suicide Forest in Japan.
nope. I just said I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
that,
thank you.
yes,
Because it's random. Because it is so random.
it is random, and people do get lost in there, and I wouldn't go any farther than my guide would take me. I wouldn't be crazy and venture farther than that, because I wouldn't want to get lost in there. Because your compasses and all of that doesn't work, but I think the place is probably just haunted beyond belief.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but I feel like you would almost need to go by yourself, go into it by yourself to get the full effect. And I don't want to be a statistic.
Well, I think if you went there by yourself, I think it could be really overwhelming and maybe even frightening.
I think it could be frightening.
And I'm not so sure I'd want to go by myself, I think, because, it's going to be very, very sorrowful. So
Yes.
I don't
And
think
we
that
would
would,
feel that. I
yeah,
mean, we know.
yeah, and so that's why I don't think I'd want to go there alone. No way. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm tough and everything, but I think that could be overwhelming alone, maybe.
Well, I know it would. I just think it's way, way too much of a possibility of something going awry in a place like that because there's no rhyme or reason.
True. And it's would be filled with, the spirits would be having all different kinds of emotions because they all went there and killed themselves, for one reason or another. So
Yep.
it's Full of
And
tragedy.
it is full of tragedy. But we're not. We're going to a break. So we will be back in 3 minutes.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Just like that, we're back with Paranormal Experience Radio. I'm Kat Hobson, your host, and I'm joined tonight by Shelly Burk Robertson, who is my friend. She is the host of Ghost Talk Radio with 187 PI, which also happens to be the investigation team she founded. And she is the owner of the Old Paulding Jail. And, you know, we had that question about where are the places that we would like to investigate together. And during the break, you had mentioned the catacombs. That too. Well, we would have to do that because I have had several people tell me that they're not haunted at all. That there is no activity. And I find that so difficult to believe. I mean, the tunnels well, good heavens. We had lost your sound again.
What?
So she was wanting to go to the catacombs because she wanted to experience them because of all the skulls and bodies and things buried under the streets of Paris.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that it might be haunted. So I'd like to go check it out and see if it's actually haunted. I mean, you know, you said that some people said that it wasn't haunted. But, I mean, maybe it wasn't haunted for them on that night.
Well, I am just fascinated because I totally was blown away when they told me that. And some of these were professional psychics. Some of these were very experienced paranormal investigators, not just ghost hunters. And, it's just bizarre to me to imagine that that would be the case.
Yeah, you would think it would be haunted.
Yeah. Now, the tunnels at Edinburgh in Scotland, I would love to get into.
Oh, yeah.
And we would have our very own tour guide with Rick McCollum for that, too, I betcha, if we asked him really sweet.
That's good.
Well, Scotland is his jam. That's what he loves. And he's a very good paranormal investigator. So,
I've got my passport. I've got my passport, Kat. So
I do too. We can go.
Yes.
Let me get to where I can walk, and we will be out of here, Jack.
That's right. We'll go investigate someplace exciting.
Yeah. Well, I think they're all exciting. Even places that I go back to.
Yeah, sure.
Because I get excited when there's interaction and I'm hearing the same voices, but it's different conversation.
And that's the really interesting thing, when you can actually form I'm just going to say it sounds bizarre, but a friendship with a ghost at a place from going back and talking to the same ones all the time, That's kind of what it's like at the jail. But if you go somewhere enough times, you can get that kind of interaction from the resident spirits at locations,
I do know. I mean, because there's one guy that talks at your jail all the time.
Oh, yes.
And there's no doubt that that's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've got another question, which I have to find coming back through here. I don't know why the sound messes up every so often. I want to apologize to people for that while I'm looking. Here it is from Carl again. Carl, you've got some of the best questions. He wants to know if you ever put your cameras live on Facebook.
I never have done just let them sit like that. I have done little live snippets here and there. They still won't let those happen in the first floor cell block. We did have somebody who could broadcast live out of that cell block as long as they stayed in the catwalk. If they tried to cross any other part, it cut them off. Is that unbelievable?
It is unbelievable.
If they crossed over into them cell areas, that was it, But they could do it in the catwalk the whole way around.
Well, I just have decided that I'm not even going to try down there anymore.
No, they don't want it. They don't want it.
Right, because for whatever reason, I think that they're afraid that somebody's going to see something or hear something. And I think that they don't know that the statute of limitations is up when you die.
Well, and I think that they're not worried about me seeing it because our surveillance cameras is in them blocks 24/7, but they're not broadcasting out to the public. It's to me,
Right.
They don't usually fool with those, and those are running all the time. And we have 3 of them in that block running 24/7.
Well, I tell you, it would be so cool if we could just get that out here or there. But I understand they have their right to privacy too. But
Yeah,
I really do think they're worried about statute of limitations, especially with Gary.